Hello, so welcome to this first episode. I think I'm going to call this show The Week That Was. It's just going to be a small video of me talking about a topic from the last week whilst playing some random game. So this week I'm playing Lies of P, which I started about 5 days ago. What level am I? Doesn't tell me. Oh, 46. 46, played for like 7-8 hours. That's something I wanted to do. But yeah, there hasn't been a huge amount of news this week with Thanksgiving in America, so I figured I'd instead talk about
of the petrification disease
the Game Awards.
turned the disease, but puppets
But
of stalkers blood. That's why the city asked me.
Just wanted to ask him about the Malin district, which is where I'll be going next, just for a bit of background lore before I head off there. So I talked to him about that, and then start talking about the
I don't know
characters.
what's happening in the Malin district. The Black Rabbit Brotherhood seized the neighborhood. That's all I know. It was always a run-down neighborhood, but it's descended into anarchy, or worse. I'm hearing rumors of monsters rampaging through the district. Those poor people. They need your help, son.
Alright, so I gotta get the list of nominees up. Okay, so Game of the Year category. Oh, this is the Game Awards, by the way. Everybody else's, so the main show is going to be in about a week and a half, I think Thursday the 7th December, something like that. Just tell them that. So yeah, Game of the Year, they have nominated Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. This year has been crazy for games. Insane amount of quality games coming out, to the point where I think it's actually been a hindrance to all of the games. Because like for me personally, trying to play as many of them as I could kind of meant I was rushing through a lot of them, but shit happens. So my pick, I think is going to win, is Baldur's Gate 3. That just seems to be the kind of industry darling, and for good reason. It's an amazing game, huge game. I've only spent 55 hours in it, and that was just getting to the end of Act 1. There's 3 acts, and I've heard that the third act is the biggest, so probably got another like 100 hours at least in there. But with everything coming out, I just decided to get to the end of Act 1 and then move on. I think it was Starfield was what came out next. This place is dark. So yeah, that's definitely a worthy winner. Pretty confident it's what's going to win. I'd be fairly surprised if it was anything else. Even though all of the other nominees in any normal year would probably be the most likely to win. They suck. So when these nominations first came out, I did all of my votes, and it was Baldur's Gate 3, yeah, that I voted for. But since then, I've finished Alan Wake 2. And Alan Wake 2 is an incredible game. I'm not certain that I'd put it over Baldur's Gate at this point, but I finished it about a week ago, and since then I've been like listening to all the songs that they made for it.
Once, Krat was just
people
a
about,
small town on the coast of little importance.
like reading up on theories and things like
Before
that.
Elysian Boulevard
Like
was built,
Jiminy
this
from
place
Jiminy
literally was all there was of Krat. But when some in the city prospered, they left the old town behind. Through isolation and neglect, Krat's first incarnation became nothing but dangerous alleys and desperate slums. On the bright side, I guess, the whole city of Krat's pretty much like that now. The old town caught up with the new. It's true what they say. A receding tide sinks all boats.
So yeah, Alan Wake 2 is an incredible game. It's strange in that I think gameplay-wise, it's not that good. It's fun, but without all the other things that make the game good, I don't think we'd be talking about it for Game of the Year, or even generally. But everything else about the game is incredible. The narrative of it, just the visuals, the presentation, the uniqueness of it with all the live action stuff going on in it. It's all very unique. So yeah, Baldur's Gate is kind of the polar opposite for me. Not that the narrative or anything is bad, but just as into it as I am Alan Wake. But obviously the gameplay is phenomenal, and you've got all these choices, and you can just make the game entirely your own. So if either of those win, I'll be happy. To be honest, if any of these things win, I'll be happy. I know a lot of people say Resident Evil 4 shouldn't be there because it's a remake, but it's so different to the original, I don't think that's valid. It's not. How would I describe it? It's like comparing. It's like saying a burger isn't a good food because steaks exist. It's like, yeah, it's the same core ingredient, beef, or Resident Evil 4, but they've done something completely different with it. It basically is a new game. And there isn't a single part of the original Resident Evil that wasn't at least lightly touched by the remake. So I think that's... ouch. Yeah, I just think that's it. I don't think that's a valid reason to exclude it at all. I also don't really know what would replace it. I know some people think Starfield should be on here. I get it, but for me, Starfield was quite disappointing. It was fine, but there was too much awkwardness. You know, compare it to the Alan Wake 2, the presentation is all wrong. Compare it to Baldur's Gate and the gameplay isn't as fun. It's just... it doesn't deserve to be on there as far as I'm concerned. Super Mario Bros. Wonder is probably the game I've played the least out of these six. I'm only up to World 2. It is really good, but it is, quote-unquote, just 2D Mario, which, you know, it's nothing new, nothing crazy exciting. But from what I've played, it is a very, very good version of 2D Mario. Tears of the Kingdom. So, Tears of the Kingdom, I think, is the best game that has ever been made. But I don't think it deserves Best Game of the Year. Which doesn't really make sense. But it's because Breath of the Wild exists. If Tears of the Kingdom came out without Breath of the Wild having existed, it'd be easy. But considering probably most of the people that are going to play Tears of the Kingdom already played Breath of the Wild, and it was the exact same map and same gameplay, even like kind of same loop of like how you progress and things like that. I think, ooh, it's a big enemy. I think Tears of the Kingdom lost a lot of the surprise and uniqueness and the wonder because of that, which is a shame. But yeah, if we were to just like rank these games, I think I would put Tears of the Kingdom above them. But I don't think that's the point of the Game of the Year award. But that's the sort of thing that everyone's going to have a different opinion of, so we'll see. There's one game I haven't spoken about. Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is phenomenal. Um, just fun, cinematic. God damn it. Yeah. Just a sudden feeling like I am. Okay, good. So yes. So yeah, I may change my vote to Alan Wake 2, but we'll see. Yeah, Spider-Man 2 is just good fun. I just don't think it's new enough to beat out Baldur's Gate or Alan Wake. But again, wouldn't be sad or anything if it did end up winning. I just hope we get some DLC and maybe a Miles Morales style game for it soon. Alright, this guy I have no... Yeah. Kill this guy and then move on to the next category. There we go. Alright. So, next category. Ah, yes. So, next one is Best Game Direction, which is basically the exact same games except without Resident Evil 4. So that's Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. This is the only category that I would genuinely be a little bit upset if the one that I think deserves it doesn't win, and that is Alan Wake 2. Like I said before, it's so unique and interesting. Like pretty much every chapter in that game has something cool. There's the one chapter in the game that if you've played it, you know which one I'm talking about, which is just unlike anything else in video games. It's phenomenal. And they're talking about doing like New Game Plus, which is going to be like a continuation of the story, but also New Game Plus. Just realised I need to have my lantern. There we go. Again, all the other games are great, but I'd say Baldur's Gate is the closest to being deserving of being it, but that isn't even really that close. Also, I think it'd be cool. I forgot to check. I'm pretty sure Sam Lake is the game director of Alan Wake 2. I know he's the creative director of Remedy, so I assume he is. I could be wrong in saying that. I just think he deserves an award. I think it's about time we look at him as a Shigeru Miyamoto, or a Hidetaki Miyazaki, or a Hideo Kojima. Just one of those like gaming auteurs that just deserve to live on as a legend. And you know, he wrote it as well, he starred in it in like 3 different roles, or 3 different aspects of one role, or however you want to word that. So yeah, that's all I have to say about Best Game Direction, so moving on. Best Narrative, that's actually quite a difficult one. So we got Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, Final Fantasy 16, and Marvel Spider-Man 2. So I haven't finished Baldur's Gate, but I've played quite a lot of it, and I haven't actually technically started Phantom Liberty. I've been playing Cyberpunk 2077, but haven't got to the DLC yet. 16 I have played, Spider-Man 2 I've played, and Alan Wake 2 I've played. That's a tough guy. That worked out well. I think all of these have good narratives. I guess I would have to pick Alan Wake 2, just because of the... But that is largely down to, like, the links to Control and Alan Wake 1, and I think if you just look at the narrative as it is, it's not that special. It's just like how it fits into everything else that kind of makes it special. So maybe that doesn't deserve it because of that. Final Fantasy 16, again, I don't think the narrative is that special, but I think all of the performances from Ben Starr as Clive Rosfield and I don't know the other actors' names, but I've forgotten her name, Jill and Joshua. Oh, and of course Ralph Ineson as Sidolphus. They just elevated it. So yeah, for me that game wasn't about the narrative, but I did enjoy the characters quite a lot. So I can see that winning for that. I have heard really good things about Phantom Liberty. Like I say, I've not played it myself, so I can't comment on that. Batman 2 was good, but you know, it's a superhero thing. Again, it's not anything that special, really. So yeah, no strong feelings for me on that one, but let's go Alan Wake 2. Next one, Best Art Direction. That's for Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Lies of P, which you can see right now, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So Alan Wake 2, I don't know that I'd say it has a really good... no, it does have a really good art direction. But it is a realistic thing of the technology really elevating it above anything else. It is like the most graphically impressive game right now. And the art direction is really good, especially when you consider like the Dark Place and how they make that look and feel different to the real world, whatever you want to call it. Hi-Fi Rush though is just, that would be my pick. The way they go from these 2D animated cinematics down, like back into gameplay and then back again, it's inspired and it just looks incredible. Obviously you can see just from any image of the game that it has a really great art style. And I think because it's not realistic, I think it's more easy to pick for this award, so I think it's more likely to win. Well, I suppose it depends who's voting. If there's a lot of people who are into the all the ray tracing and things like that, then Alan Wake 2 will probably win. My vote is for Hi-Fi Rush. We'll see what actually happens. To be honest, so Lies of P was nominated. I am impressed by the visuals of this game. It does have a nice art direction and I say more of a visual theme of the... It's not quite steampunk, like puppet punk. I don't know what you want to call it. But yeah, that looks good. Super Mario Bros. Wonder, it's nice to finally get a new art style. Fucking hell, that scared the shit out of me. For Mario, but yeah, I don't know that it's deserving of that award. Uh-oh. Ah. Damn it. Dead. And yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. It's a nice art style, but we had Breath of the Wild before, so I don't think that's going to get it. So yeah, my vote on Hi-Fi Rush. I think it's between that and Alan Wake 2. Okay, best score and music. I'm not going to comment on all of them, but there's Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Hi-Fi Rush, and Tears of the Kingdom. So again, Hi-Fi Rush is going to be the one that most people latch onto because it's a game basically about music. But most of the, well, I think the only really memorable songs from that game were the licensed soundtrack. Like, I think you had 9 Inch Nails, you had Prodigy, and those were really awesome moments anytime any of those songs did come on. But I don't think you can award this category to a game for that. Final Fantasy 16 does have some incredible music. Baldur's Gate 3, I am going to comment on all of them. Baldur's Gate 3 also has some great music. Tears of the Kingdom has moments of incredible music, and then a lot of, you know, that, what do you call it? It's the, like, more background kind of music, which is good. But Alan Wake 2, like I said earlier, I've been listening to the songs they made for that game for the past, like, week since I finished the game, and everyone just fits so well. I believe most of the lyrics were helped, at least, by Sam Lake. I'm stuck. Yeah, and then you've got Poets of the Fall as are they? Old Gods of Asgard? Yeah. Old Gods of Asgard. And they have 3 tracks in the game, and everyone fits the scenes it's in really well. Is just a great song in general. Even like carries the story forward. And the incidental music, that's what I wanted for Zelda. The incidental music is, to be honest, I don't remember any of it, but that means it at least wasn't bad. With music, you tend to either notice it because it's good or bad. So if you don't notice it, that just means it's fine. So yeah, I think Alan Wake 2 should win for the new, not the new songs, rather than the new the actual like in-game background music. I don't know what I think's gonna win. I know Final Fantasy usually wins things like that. Oh, I don't have the Fable art. Oh, I'm nearly dead. Thought he was dead, so I stopped attacking. Right. Let's move on to the next category. Ooh. So this one is Best Audio Design, recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. Alan Wake 2, Dead Space, Hi-Fi Rush, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4. Basically the survival horror category, with 3 out of the 5 being survival horror games, which I'm a big fan of. When I think of audio design, my go-to example of good audio design is always the first Dead Space, or the original Dead Space. And I don't know that Remake did anything new with that, but they continued it, and yeah, I think that is just like the pinnacle of audio design. Again, Alan Wake 2, Resident Evil 4 as survival horror games had great audio design too, so I wouldn't be upset about those winning. Again, I feel like Hi-Fi Rush might win just because people see audio, they see Hi-Fi Rush, they think, well, obviously. But I suppose it does have that special thing with the way the entire world was kind of built around the audio, with everything bouncing along to the beat. But I'd say that's more like art style than audio design. But it is a cool thing that obviously you need the audio for it to work, so I get if people vote for it for that. Let's do the next category. I think I'll just do a few more. Ooh, this is a tough category. So this is best performance. So you've got Ben Starr as Clive Rossfield in Final Fantasy XVI, Cameron Monaghan as Cal Kestis in Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Idris Elba as the character he plays in Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, Melanie Liburd as Saga Anderson in Alan Wake 2, Neil Newbon as Asterion in Baldur's Gate 3, and Yuri Lowenthal as Peter Parker's Spider-Man in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Every one of these performances, again, not played Phantom Liberty yet, so haven't seen Idris Elba's, but the other 5 are all incredible performances. And I know that Idris Elba is a great actor, so I'm sure his is too. My pick for this would be Ben Starr as Clive Rossfield, because I didn't expect to like Clive Rossfield as much as I did, but I ended up loving him quite a lot, and that is entirely because of Ben Starr's performance. Well, I guess the right two, you've always got to... I'm just going to move if I stand up. Oh no, there's a lever. Okay. Yeah, he really... The entire roster, but Ben Starr especially, really elevated that performance to the point where I went from assuming I wasn't going to really care about Clive to crying by the end of... crying about him, with him, at the end of the game. Which, yeah... I think that's the only game that's made me cry this year. There is even treasure to be found in a collapsing shack. Find out what happened to the greedy couple. Don't know what that means. Anyway. Jedi Survivor, nothing else to talk about yet. I really enjoyed that game. Fallen Order is one of my favourite games of all time. And Survivor for me was slightly disappointing with... I didn't like the open world aspect of it too much. Not that it's fully open world, but it just was needlessly more open in my opinion. I much preferred the tighter structure of Fallen Order. But Cameron Monaghan's performance is great. Just wouldn't put it above Ben Starr personally. I'm gonna fight this guy and then talk about it some more. Timing as well. Good lord. Missed. He is destroying me. I've wasted my flame charge. Uh-oh. Oh no. Come on. No. There we go. Slum Shack key. Okay. I have no health. Oh, I've got the little cube. Oh no, it doesn't have any. Ah. Okay. Anyway. Melanie Liburd. Yes, I really like Saga Anderson. I was a little bit worried when they first announced that it was going to be like a 2 protagonist thing. I was worried that would take like too much focus away from Alan Wake, but she was a really interesting character in her own right, and she was performed really well. I don't think she had much live-action stuff in the game, or really any. But yeah, there's that aspect of it too. Oh, yeah, Neo Newborn as Astarion. He's really good. I chose a rogue as my own character, so I didn't want to use Astarion in my party and have 2 rogues. So I haven't seen him that much. But he obviously is very good. And yeah, Yuri and Peter Parker is amazing. I think he even voiced the slight spoilers for Spider-Man 2. When you see the flashback to young Peter, I think he just did that voice himself, which is really impressive. Yeah, my vote Ben Starr. I think Ben Starr will probably win because he's kind of become the industry darling a bit with all his online videos, which have been funny. There's definitely somebody around this corner. Maybe not. There we go. Yeah. The only other way I can see it going is maybe Idris Elba, just because he's, a very famous actor, so when people see performance, they think very famous actor. Hopefully not, but we'll see. I just thought something I needed to... Nope, I've forgotten. Oh well. Next category. Innovation and accessibility, I know nothing about. I think Forza Motorsport is probably going to win it, because I think I saw people say that they could finish a race even while legally blind. So that's pretty crazy. Games for Impact, again, I don't know much about. Best going. Support. Best indie game. Yes. So best independent game. Kind of a controversial one this year, if you haven't heard, because, well, let's go through the nominees. So you've got Cocoon, Dave the Diver, Dredge, Sea of Stars, and Viewfinder. Now, Dave the Diver was made by a developer called Mint Rocket, was created by Nexon, who is a big publisher, so not an independent game. Obviously it has the indie feel to the game, so I can understand why people voted for it. I think I should be going this way. And I've recently started playing it. I've been streaming it. I streamed it once and then I played it offline. And it is a very good game, so I'm glad it's nominated for something. I think they maybe need to change the wording of Best Independent Game, but I don't know how you would, because even if you say Best Small Studio, that's not right still, because I think they're quite a big team. So I don't know what you do about that. But regardless of that, the only other 2 that I've played are Dredge and Cocoon. Sea of Stars looks amazing, wouldn't be surprised if it wins. Viewfinder looked really cool, but the reviews seem to suggest it was actually kind of disappointing. Not hugely so, but just not incredible. So I don't think that's going to win. Dredge, I really liked. I've only played a couple hours of. It's just been such a busy year, I never got around to doing any more than that. Oh, cool. And then they kind of announced there was going to be DLC coming out this year, which I think is already out, and then some more next year, so I'm kind of just waiting for the whole thing to play 3 more. Cocoon, though, is amazing. I played it in 2 sittings. It's, about 4 hours in total, I think, maybe a bit less. Really, really loved it. It's from one of the people behind Inside and Limbo, so you know the kind of thing you're getting with it. I wasn't expecting to like it at all from the trailers. But once I actually played it, it's on Game Pass, so I didn't have to risk anything. I just played it, and yeah, it very quickly became one of my favorite indie games of all time. There was an extra thing I could look for. So I really hope that's the best independent game category. I actually kind of wish it was up for one of the bigger awards, but there we are. just going to quickly run through other categories, see if there's anything else I want to talk about. Best debut indie, again I'd say Cocoon. I've heard Pizza Tower's good, Vember's interesting. VR game, VR action game. I think it's strange that Lies of P right here isn't nominated, nor Final Fantasy 16, because they're both nominated for RPGs, even though they're more action. Whatever. I really loved Ghost Runner 1. I haven't played 2 yet. Armored Core 6 is great. I haven't played too much of it. Hi-Fi Rush is good. I want to try Remnant. Best action adventure. It's pretty much probably going to be Tears of the Kingdom, because I don't think it's going to win Ultimate Game of the Year. Best RPG, obviously going to be Baldur's Gate. Though there are, like, Sea of Stars maybe, but yeah, Final Fantasy 16 and Lies of P shouldn't be there. Starfield I think is kind of lucky to be there, honestly. Let's see, best fighting. Street Fighter 6 is the only one I've played, but that is an amazing game. Best family. Probably go to Super Mario Bros. Wonder, I would guess. Party Animals is great fun though. I'm glad Pikmin's there. Speaking of best sim strategy, I really hope Pikmin wins that. I actually think Pikmin 4 should be up for Game of the Year, but that's another story. I think that's... multiplayer is quite a difficult one. So for best multiplayer, you've got Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Yeah, that's 5 amazing games that are amazing for very different reasons. So it's really difficult to choose between that. I'd say Party Animals maybe, just because it's the most like pure multiplayer game. Like all of the other game, well, and Street Fighter 6 I suppose, but Baldur's Gate, Diablo, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder you can play by yourself and have just as much fun. Well, maybe not just as much. You know, you can still have really good fun. So yeah, I'd say either Party Animals, maybe Diablo, just because it's such a multiplayer thing. I mean, Street Fighter 6 is as well, but I just suck at it. Let's just quickly look at the others. Adaptation. So I find that to be an interesting one. You got Castlevania Nocturne, Gran Turismo, The Last of Us, Super Mario Bros. Movie, and Twisted Metal. So personally, I have only watched The Last of Us and Super Mario Bros. Movie so far. I've heard really good things about Twisted Metal, so I do want to watch that. But just not got around to it yet. I really hope that big guy stayed dead. Okay. That's lucky. So obviously The Last of Us is an amazing show, and easily, yeah, from what I've heard of the others, easily the like best TV show, or yeah, best TV show slash movie of the lot. Like, if you didn't know it was about a video game, you just think it was a great show. You wouldn't think twice about it. But if we're talking about adaptation, I would personally argue that the Last of Us game told a better story than the Last of Us TV show did. Even though the Last of Us TV show is great, I just think the game was a better story. It got you more involved, obviously, through being a game, so you felt it a bit more. Whereas Super Mario has never had a good story before. And so they were able to turn that property into a movie that probably not even an 8 out of 10, probably like a 7 out of 10 for me. I'd go 8 out of 10. But they turned something that isn't a great story into a great story, whereas Last of Us turned something that is a great story into a nearly as great story. So for me, I would choose Super Mario Bros. Movie over Last of Us, but I don't think that it stands a chance in hell, actually. I think everyone's going to vote Last of Us, and for fair reasons. So I don't blame it at all. So that is going to be the last one I'm going to talk about today. So thank you for watching. See you next time.